Alright, I think I'm recording this, and I'm going to load up your images here. I just downloaded them. They look like they're pretty much the same as far as color. So once we do one, we can apply those same settings to the other one. Alright, here's camera raw. I'm going to see if I can make this bigger, and we can see that she's cold. First thing I look at is what's the worst thing? Well, she's cold, so that tells me temperature. I need to warm it up. So I'm going to slide it to warm. See, she's getting warm. I'm going to go actually till she's too warm. She's definitely too warm there. I'm going to bring it back to about, well, to where she's not too warm. Then I could sit here and say she could probably use a little magenta, so I'm going to slide that to the right. She's pretty darn close already. I look up here at the histogram, which is slightly shy. Sometimes I'll just push it and see. Yeah, that's probably helpful. I'm going to be safe though and put it about there. And then I'll play with the brightness. Shadows are a little bit too dark, so what I'll do there is reduce the contrast. She looks a little pale, so I'm going to bring down the brightness. The shadows were dark still, so I'm going to push a little bit of fill light. Watch what happens. If I put in fill, the shadows start to get brighter. So we don't want way up there, but we do want a little fill. So I'm just going to bring it in to where it looks pretty good, about there. I like to do a little vignetting, so I'm going to do this, which darkens the outer edges, as you can see. I'm going to go back to normal. I'm going to up the saturation a touch to add a little color to her face. She looks about perfect. I could load her in right there, but just to tweak it a little bit, I'm going to add a touch more magenta. And that's pretty much it. I can then make the crop and go with it. Now, if we want to add more red, which we really don't, but if we did, we would add the same amounts of both sliders. So I'm going to take this one about that far, this one about that far, and you can see that she's now too red. To go to cyan, you take them both the same amount, and she's too cyan. Now again, I start out with here is she cold or warm? So she's cold, so I'm going to bring it until she's too warm, back it off until she's not too warm, about there. And now she's got almost a little greenish look, which is cyan, and I'm going to add magenta, which is, well, here's the green, here's magenta. I'm going to add magenta, which will take that out, and there it is again. She's perfect. If you want, you could up the contrast some, but I don't think that's needed. We could bump up exposure a touch, a little more saturation, add tilt if we want, and she's ready to go. Now here's the good part. We'll just do open image, and there she is. She's ready to go. I mean, you don't have to do any portraiture filter or anything else. This is fine for a proof, and really it's not too far off for a final print. If we go then to the other shot, which you did at the same time, and settings, we can bring that in, and let me make sure it's in the record screen here. And because we just did it, we can go over here and do previous conversion. See that? I'm going to select it and watch what happens. It just applied the same settings, so the color is all fully adjusted. Now for this one, you had a bit more exposure, and we can see that over here in the histogram that it's peaking. So we're just going to bring the exposure down a little bit, bring the brightness down a little bit to add a little more color to the face. Get up the saturation a touch on that, maybe even reduce the contrast a touch. Essentially, it's almost the same. Maybe a hair more warmth to this one, and she's ready to go just that quick. So you take this, if you want, add a little tilt. That's cute that way. Everything should be the same as the last shot. And then we say open image. And she opens, and she's ready to go. That's how quick and easy it is. Look how beautiful that color is. And there you have it.